Hello everyone, and welcome back to the Fluctus Channel. A ship does not have to explode to become deadly. Sometimes the first sign is water forcing its way through a ruptured pipe, a cracked fitting, or a damaged bulkhead. At sea, flooding changes everything in seconds. Water adds weight, reduces stability, damages electrical systems, blocks passageways, and can trap sailors below decks if a compartment is not isolated quickly. That is why the Navy teaches damage control as a survival skill from the beginning. Every sailor, no matter the rating, is expected to understand alarms, watertight doors, flooding boundaries, repair lockers, shoring, plugging, patching, and basic firefighting. The ship may be made of steel, but its real last line of defense is the crew moving fast before flooding becomes uncontrollable. Inside the USS Buttercup Damage Control Wet Trainer at Officer Training Command Newport, students enter a mock ship section built to flood under controlled conditions. The trainer's pool holds about 37,000 gallons of fresh water and includes multiple shipboard compartments, including a damage control central area, repair station, fan room, storerooms, and berthing spaces. Some rooms are designed to flood so students can feel water rise while they work. The process begins with a safety brief, gear issue, and role assignment. Instructors explain the casualty, then water enters through simulated ruptures. Sailors rush to identify the source, communicate the location, and build a repair plan. A small leak may be plugged with wedges, rubber, and pressure. A larger hole may need a patch held in place with wooden shoring. A damaged pipe may need a clamp, while a cracked bulkhead may require bracing strong enough to resist water pressure. The work is wet, noisy, and physical. Teams carry timber, swing hammers, pass tools, hold boards against leaks, and fight the force of incoming water while someone reports progress to Damage Control Central. They must keep balance, avoid panic, and protect their own escape routes. If water reaches equipment or threatens to cross into another compartment, boundaries are set to keep the casualty from spreading. International exercises, such as Fluctus 2011, also used flooding training to build shared shipboard survival skills among sailors from different navies. The procedures may vary by country, but the principle is the same. Control the water, protect the ship's stability, and save the crew. In real combat, flooding has helped decide the fate of major ships. World War II losses showed that crews who isolated compartments, restored pumps, and kept communication alive could keep damaged vessels afloat long enough to save lives or return to port. The trainer recreates that pressure without risking a real hull, forcing beginners to respect every valve, hatch, and door as part of the ship's survival system. Especially when pumps, lighting, and communications fail together, while instructors grade communication, speed, and safe tool control. The lesson is simple. A warship survives not because it never gets hit, but because sailors know what to do when the sea starts coming inside. The Coast Guard trains for a different kind of emergency. Surviving after an aircraft, boat, or cutter crew ends up in the water. Search and rescue is one of the service's core missions, and U.S. Coast Guard crews operate in conditions where cold water, rough seas, darkness, and wind can turn a routine flight or patrol into a life-threatening event. At Air Station Astoria, Oregon, aircrew members conduct annual wet drills on the Columbia River near Hammond. Before entering the water, they review survival equipment, including dry suits, survival vests, emergency flares, signaling devices, and life rafts. The training forces crew members to practice with the equipment they may need when there is no time to read instructions. The drill builds confidence through repetition. Crews enter the water, control breathing, stay together, inflate survival gear, climb into a life raft, and practice signaling. In cold water, the body loses heat quickly, hands become stiff, speech slows, and clear thinking becomes harder. Training teaches survivors to conserve energy, help weaker crewmates, and make themselves visible to rescuers. Coast Guard members also conduct cold water immersion training from cutters such as USCGC Hawser. This prepares crews for the shock of sudden exposure and the challenge of functioning while soaked, cold, and wearing heavy gear. Survival is not just swimming. It is staying calm, locating flotation, using signals, managing hypothermia, and waiting for recovery. These drills matter because Coast Guard rescuers often become the last hope for others. They pull fishermen, pilots, sailors, and stranded civilians from water that is rarely forgiving. To rescue someone in danger, crews must first understand how dangerous that environment feels on their own bodies. The training turns fear into controlled action. In heavy seas, those habits can turn minutes of exposure into a survivable, organized, hopeful rescue wait. When the emergency happens beneath the surface, rescue becomes more complex. A disabled submarine may rest hundreds of feet below, with sailors trapped inside and limited air, power, heat, and time. Reaching them requires specialized equipment, trained divers, international coordination, and a rescue chamber engineered to mate with a submarine hatch in deep water. The U.S. Navy's Undersea Rescue Command is the service's submarine rescue specialist. It maintains shallow and deep rescue systems, remotely operated vehicle capability, divers, medical personnel, reservists, active duty sailors, and contractors who can support submarine emergencies. NATO has also built an international rescue network linking dozens of nations, because a submarine disaster may demand help from whichever country can arrive first. The rescue process begins with location and assessment. Surface ships, aircraft, sonar systems, and remotely operated vehicles search for the disabled submarine. Once found, teams study the boat's angle, depth, current, hatch condition, and surrounding hazards. Divers or robotic systems may be sent down to inspect the site, clear debris, check fittings, and prepare a safe connection point. The submarine rescue chamber is built like a pressure-rated elevator for the sea. It is lowered from a support vessel, guided down by cable and control systems, then carefully positioned over the submarine's escape hatch. In training off Catalina Island, the chamber dives to a simulated hatch fixture, aligns, seals, and returns to the surface. The system can conduct shallow water rescue operations down to about 850 feet. After a watertight seal is made, pressure is equalized, and survivors climb from the submarine into the chamber. Only a limited number can move at one time, so the operation may require repeated trips. On the surface, rescued sailors may need medical checks, oxygen support, warming, and decompression management. During Chalmar 3 and NATO submarine rescue exercises, crews practiced the full chain. This work is slow because it cannot be reckless. A hatch that fails to seal, a cable that snags, or a pressure mistake can endanger rescuers and survivors together. Submarine rescue is a race against time, but every movement has to be precise. The same cooperation became painfully important after real submarine disasters such as Argentina's Ara San Juan in 2017. When international forces joined a difficult search in the South Atlantic. Exercises keep equipment certified before a tragedy, not after it, and prove crews can cooperate. Aircraft crashes add another survival problem. Helicopters and fixed-wing aircraft can suffer mechanical failure, bird strikes, brownout landings, weather disorientation, engine trouble, hard impacts, or combat damage. On land, recovery teams can often use cranes, trucks, and sling-load equipment to lift a damaged airframe. Soldiers preparing a UH-60 Black Hawk for sling-load practice check rigging points, attach cables, inspect hooks, and guide the aircraft as it is carried by another helicopter. A real recovery may be much harder. Marines, sailors, and Forest Service personnel recovered a downed Navy MH-60S Seahawk in California, using careful coordination to secure the wreckage, protect personnel, and remove the aircraft from difficult terrain. On land, teams can establish a perimeter, bring vehicles close, and work around the site for hours. At sea, everything becomes less stable. Wreckage may sink, float, roll, burn, or disappear below waves before rescuers arrive. That is why egress training is essential. A helicopter that crashes into water may flip upside down as the rotor system and cabin weight shift. Passengers can lose orientation immediately. Straps, helmets, communications cords, darkness, bubbles, and panic make it difficult to find an exit. A person who simply swims upward may move the wrong way inside an inverted cabin. The modular amphibious egress trainer, known as the Helo Dunker, teaches Marines and sailors how to survive that moment. Students strap into a mock aircraft cabin above a pool. Instructors brief them on reference points, emergency breathing, brace positions, exits, and the order of movement. Then the trainer drops into the water and rotates, forcing students to work upside down. The rule is to stay calm, keep one hand on a reference point, wait until violent motion stops, release the seatbelt, locate the exit, and pull out in the correct direction. Repetition builds muscle memory so the body can act even when the mind is shocked. Other underwater egress trainers use smaller cages, blindfolds, and window exits to teach the same principle. Fighter pilots also practice water survival. Wearing flight gear, they enter rivers or pools, inflate life preservers, deploy rafts, practice parachute drag procedures, and learn how to signal rescuers. Coast Guard rescues of crashed pilots and overflights of helicopter wrecks near water show why this matters. The first few minutes after impact can decide whether a crew lives long enough to be found. Even strong swimmers struggle when boots, gloves, body armor, and survival radios pull against every movement. Training removes surprise by making the worst position familiar before it happens. From flooding compartments to cold water drills, submarine rescue chambers, and helicopter egress trainers. The training is built around one truth. The ocean gives almost no time to learn. Sailors and aircrews must practice before the emergency arrives. Because survival at sea depends on calm hands, clear steps, and teamwork under pressure. That is the end of this video. I hope you enjoyed it. Make sure to subscribe to this channel so you don't miss any of our new content. See you next time.